and I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of the Very Best Podcast. I'm Jesus, and as always, I'm absolutely thrilled that you're here. Today, we're diving into a topic that has the power of truly transform your life, and it is purpose. In the last episode, we talked about awareness and identity, and now it's time to connect those and put them into actions. Living with purpose means aligning our intentions with our actions, and it's all about understanding why we do things, what do we do, and how do we do it. Can lead to a life that feels good and is meaningful. I am excited today to share my journey in discovering my purpose and give you some practical tips and little advice that can help you how you can find yours. So let's jump right in. It all started on a day that I will never forget. It was in 2019, and I remember it was a Friday early in the year, and that day changed the course of my life for good. From the outside, it might seems very obvious, but it took me to the deepest places within myself, from the darkness to the best light. That day, I discovered the truth within me and the reason why I'm here on earth. And it was early in the morning. It was 7:30, and I was coming out of the shower, and I was just getting ready myself to go to the office. And I remember I checked my phone, and I saw an email from one of my clients. That email changed my life forever. And I won't go into details, but all I can tell you, it was the worst email you can imagine. It was written in a very, very aggressive tone. And obviously, I could sense that it was intentionally sent to put me in a very difficult situation. And it was about money. And the first reaction I got, it was just start typing back immediately. And all of a sudden, I felt this burning sensation all over my body. And even through, I just had a shower, I just kind of started to sweat again. It was just this heat. And in seconds, my mind went to the worst place. My ego really took over, and I began typing, and it was the most hostile response you can ever do. I mean, I was hurt, I was angry, and I was ready to fight. I wouldn't let that go. But I did realize that my thoughts were racing so fast, and my hands were typing so furiously. But something incredibly happened in that moment. I'm going to try to describe it as simple as I can, but if I felt this breeze from the back of my head, and it came from the window, and I started smelling the room like incense or like roses. It just kind of, because I really remember just like, what's that smell? My phone just slipped out of my hands. And in a really loud bah, I hear it on the floor, I remember. And I had to sit down at the edge of the bed. And without realizing it, I started to breathe quite slowly through my nose. And my entire body just began to slow down. I think the entire room, everything became like in slow motion. My breath, it was so slow and smooth. And I stayed there for a few minutes, and I felt, like I'm having a panic attack. But all of a sudden, I just felt this energy around me, and I felt like someone was in there with me, and I felt supported, loved, and listened. It felt like, when you're sick and your parents come along and they pet you a little bit. I felt energized, and anyway, it was a few minutes, and I just pick up back the phone, and again, instead of going through the email, it just went to YouTube, and I watched a motivational video. It just popped up, and honestly, that wasn't a content I was watching. I've never watched this lady before, but that spoke to my soul directly. Suddenly, everything made sense, and I felt guided, and I felt like I was receiving this image that I needed to hear at that moment. And I remember this lady was calling it about something about whispers, like there's sometimes in life they just get like something's going on here, and I couldn't hold back my emotions. I started to cry. I was sobbing. I broke into tears, and because I felt like there was a part of myself that it was a accepted. And I feel really connected to something. And that day I realized that no matter what happens on your life or how dramatic the incident happened, you are always going to be looked after. And that presence, that is pure energy, is always there with me. And I still feel it ever since then. That video taught me as well a very good lesson that there's nothing that you can do about what others people do, but you can control how you react to it. And that day I chose to respond in a very different way that I was typing back. I decided to choose kindness, compassion, and move on with my life. I remember I just get out of the bed, I dress nicely, I come out, and I had a great day. I remember I totally forgot about the email and about the money and about the work. And that day my path really became clear. I realized that the person who sent me the email, that was the one I had the problem, not me. And later in the day, I felt a bit of compassion for him. And I made peace with the situation. It was like, all right, maybe you need the money. You can keep it. It was as easy as that. And it was an Easter weekend, yeah. It was, and around that time, I started to work for another company. Oh, that was the email about, yeah, because obviously I was leaving anyway. And it was a very different job. It was a PR job what I was going through, and I was making some kind of content for this brand. Anyway, the CEO of this firm, it was a lady, and it was quite unique. Let's just say it was a bit eccentric, and she was promoting her book, and it was just talking about compassion and business anyway. And she asked me personally to edit this video for her, and it was like an hour video of this workshop that she was doing. Just, we need like a shortcut, it has to be like 5 minutes, and I was looking through and I'll carry on, but anyway, I just could feel that she was quite demanding, and she needed this deadline, she needed immediately, so I just kind of have to put it all together. And as I said, the video was very long, and I just did, like a little promo. I chucked a music in there. I just put the best beats, and the following day when we watched her, she got mad. Honestly, she got crazy about it, because obviously she would say, I need to hear the dialogue, from the workshop, but I did realize that she was criticizing herself. She was very tough on the way that she looked. My hair looked messy, my eyes looked baggy, the camera doesn't make me look good, and at first I did feel she was a bit arrogant person, to be honest, and it came to my mind to say but darling, I don't think you really need a PR in here. I think you need a stylist. But again, who is the arrogant there? It's just me being a bit arrogant, who the reaction. Anyway, I took her feedback on board, and I started to edit the video, and all of a sudden when I was doing the video, I started to listen to what the video was saying, and that moment I listened, everything changed about it. All of a sudden I saw that she was a lovely lady, and she was trying to help someone, a big corporate firm, to do something very good and compassionate and great, to be honest. She talks about kindness, she talks about compassion. I mean, what a beautiful message. And when I was doing it, I felt, this is great. I mean, I was learning a lot even editing the video, but also could see that she wasn't very kind with herself and very compassionate with her own. So, because obviously she was criticizing her a lot of herself, her voice, her hair. It was a Sunday, I remember, it was just over the weekend. And the video was like a really last minute, and the video has to have some edits, and we did so. And we make a second edit round, and honestly, she was almost removing herself from the video entirely. I was really shocked to see that. But anyway, it was really late, and I remember I was sitting on the meeting room on a WeWork, and it was quite late actually, and I was tired, but all of a sudden I understood her problem. I was editing a video and she was talking about uplifting others, and really realized that no one was really uplifting her. I was very late, but didn't feel like I was working. I felt like I was helping. So when I finished the video, and I felt this presence again. It was just on the meeting room with me. And all of a sudden, I started to breathe quite deep. My entire body just felt good. It felt full. My chest was wide. And this time, I wasn't crying. I was smiling. I knew that this was a power. And I knew I was tuning into something. And again, it just felt like I was breathing for the first time. I could feel my body uplifted. And that's the day that I found my purpose. And I said to myself, from now on, I am in the world to do this. I am in the world to be at service, and I'm going to help others with my skills and with my energy. And that's what I'm going to be my job. And I said to myself, what's this job title? Because I really wanted to. But it became really clear to me. And before I left the room, I remember I wrote a statement on the wall and I said it. From now on, I'm dedicated to help others with my skills of my energy. And I'm dedicated to do good and excellence for myself and others. And from that day, that happens 5 years ago, I haven't stopped. I still do exactly the same thing. And that's when my life has truly changed, because I stopped working for money and I started working for purpose. And that's when the money comes, because you are aligned with your authentic self, what you meant to do with what you are doing. And it's wonderful. And we all have that. We all have that, not just me. And it is your job to find it. It's about understanding what drives you, what makes you feel fulfilled. Your purpose is your unique contribution to the world, and that's what it makes your life meaningful. And now I'm going to give you some tips that are going to help you maybe to uncover a little bit why we do things. And the number one, I just told you on the story, is about helping others. When you focus on helping others, you shift your perspective from being self-centered, that you're just doing something for yourself, and to start benefit what you're doing for the greater good. And this not only brings a fulfillment, but it also helps you to understand yourself and what you're meant to bring to the world, because you're helping others. Number two, having clear intentions. Honestly, this is so important, because setting clear intentions help you and guide your actions and help you as well to make the right decisions. Because when you know what you want to achieve, your path becomes clear and you focus on what truly matters to you, your intention. And you got to be really careful with having an agenda or a dodgy intention behind, because it comes back to you. This is something that has to be so clear and pure. The next one is seek for inspiration. Remember, learning from others that have found the purpose can really provide you with value, insight, and very important motivation. I think you have to be quite motivated to really start to dig in on what you are all about. And because their journey can inspire you and it really reflects your own on learning and other people's journey. Remember that video that I felt inspired that day. And the last one, trust in the process. Honestly, trust that everything will unfold naturally, and be patient with yourself. Stay open to wherever this journey leads you. And because that's the key. It's not the destination, it's the journey itself. And remember, this is the key, I guess, of today's episode. Life is not about what you do for a living, but it's about finding and make it a living. When you align your true self, you become more authentic. You become actually unstoppable, honestly. Your purpose is your gift, and it's up to you to find it and to embrace it. And again, finding your purpose is a journey of self-discovery. It's about connecting with yourself, your true self, and understanding what drives you. And remember, you don't need a dramatic event like happened to me with a really bad email that is about to become a lawsuit. It's about finding your own. Again, start by helping others. It's about setting clear intentions, about getting inspiration for others, and about trust. And that's it for today, guys. Before we wrap up, I would love to give a key takeaway for this. Purpose is what drives us forward. It gives us a meaning and it makes our life truly fulfilling. And no matter if you are studying, if you are already on the journey, or whatever it is, keep moving forward. Keep an open heart and keep an open mind, because purpose change and it's out there and it's up to you to find it. Remember, aligning the world within you with the world outside you. Now, thank you so much. I hope my story inspire you to discover your purpose and to start to bring in a bit more fulfilling into your life. If any of the episode today has resonated to you, please, I would love to hear about it. Your message, your feedback that I'm getting, guys, it means the world to me. I love it. Honestly, I'm so excited to hear your thoughts. And if there is everything that you have in mind, please drop it in the comments below or drop me a DM. I'm happy to chat, or please contact through my website. Don't miss out any of the events that I have coming up, please, especially if you're in London. I would love to see you there. And for my global family around the world, remember, you can join my Patreon, where I host exactly the same events I do offline, online every 2 weeks. Once again, thank you so much for your support, and I'm really looking forward to see you on the next episode.